Bro, I'm gonna turn on the gain on the mic. And yeah. Hello. Oh, okay, it's working. It's working. Yes, bitch. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what the fuck. I keep saying this, the same phrase over and over again. I don't think what the fuck. What the fuck. What the fuck. Oh, okay, it's working. It's working. Yes, bitch. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what the fuck. I keep saying this, the same phrase over and over again. So this is my first stream and पता नहीं भाई देखते हैं कैसा जाता है ये सब. मैं पहली बार स्ट्रीम कर रहा हूँ और मैं ऐसे पूरे टाइम फुल हिंदी में बात तो नहीं करने वाला ऑब्वियसली, बट लेट्स सी क्या होता है. आई एम मयंक. मैं उस दिल्ली में पैदा हुआ था एंड कैसा जाता है ये सब. मैं पहली बार स्ट्रीम कर रहा हूँ. मैं ऐसे पूरे टाइम फुल हिंदी में बात तो नहीं करने वाला ऑब्वियसली, बट लेट्स सी क्या होता है. मैं दिल्ली में पैदा हुआ था. अभी मैं स्ट्रीम देख रहा हूँ भाई, कैसा आवाज़ आ रही थी यार. लेट्स सी. ओके ठीक है, इट्स ऑल गुड. अब मैं इसको आवाज़ कम कर रहा हूँ. हाँ ठीक है. सॉइल इज़ द ग्राउंड सपोर्ट विच रूट्स अब क्या रेवोल्यूशनरी बात है क्या. Soil which originated from weathering of rocks is a loose mass of mineral abundance over the crust of the earth. The subgrade, which is the bottommost layer of the pavement, is made up of compact soil. Road embankments are built with soil. Soil is sometimes used as one of the ingredients in this base/sub-base layer of the pavement. Characterization of soil, that is, knowledge of behavior of soil, is an essential part of pavement engineering. Comprehensive coverage of engineering properties of soil is available in the Geotechnical Engineering books 141. Only some important aspects of which need special attention with reference to pavement engineering are discussed in this section. Number of parameters are used for characterization of soil, some of them such as resilient. Only some important aspects of which need special attention with reference to pavement engineering are discussed in this section. Number of parameters are used for characterization of soil, some of them such as resilient. The elastic model, which is pavement structure for soil and granular material. The equivalent term is resilient modulus. Design of pavement for soil. We want to show the triaxial state of stress to which a sample placed in a triaxial cell is subjected to stimulate the dynamic loading conditions as observed in the field. Due to traffic, the stress sigma 1 to sigma 3 is made pulsating. Okay, this dynamic nature of triaxial testing is intended to match the loading and the unloading durations in the same way as they occur in the serviced road. Deformation of samples occurs when the load is applied to it, and recovery takes place when the load is removed. I'm just reading words, I'm not even comprehending what I'm saying. Okay, due to traffic, the stress sigma 1 sigma 3 known as deviatoric stress or pressure is made pulsating. Okay, तो कभी गाड़ी आती है तो कभी ज़्यादा स्ट्रेस होता है, कभी makes sense. This dynamic nature of triaxial testing is intended to match the loading and unloading durations in the same way which they occur in the service road. ठीक है, testing में read करते हैं. Deformation of the sample occurs when the load is applied to it. ठीक है, पर makes sense. Deformation होता है. And recovery takes place when the load is moved. Sure. Dynamic triaxial testing on a soil or a granular material shows that the fraction of the total strain is unrecoverable, called permanent deformation. Oh, okay, permanent deformation, yeah. Even when the load is removed. Figure 10.2 shows the concept of recoverable and non-recoverable strains. 10.2, yes. Deviatoric stress. Let me see, कैसा sound करो. Even when the load is removed. Figure 10.2 shows the concept of recoverable and non-recoverable strains. 10.2, yes. Deviatoric stress. Deviatoric stress. I don't know, I'm not very clear when I speak. I tend to in my habit of trying to sound like foreign people, like for example Jacksepticeye and people like that, or oftentimes rutting instead of putting emphasis on the T, I, replace T with the sound of D, like rutting. Try to sound fancier than I actually am. It's accepted when people like that. But oftentimes, rutting, instead of putting emphasis on the T, I, replace T with the sound of D, like rutting. Try to sound fancier than I actually am. I don't know, I'm getting self-conscious about the way I'm speaking English. Not that I think about it. It is kind of fucked. My English. It's not as good as I thought it was. The permanent deformation is specifically prominent with the sample subjected to a large number of repetitions. On an in-service road as well, permanent deformation occurs due to repetitive traffic loading called rutting. Rutting is discussed in detail in section 12. The defined as deviatoric stress divided by recoverable strain. Stress divided by strain, that's modulus of resilience or rutting. Resilient modulus, yeah. Okay, makes sense. Stress over strain, that's a modulus, yeah. Where is the recoverable actual? Recoverable strain, permanent strain, okay. Finally, deviatoric stress divided by recoverable strain. The recoverable actual strain based on a test on different dependable formulas have been suggested. Sure, if the facilities for repeated triaxial tests are not available, the MR values of subgrade soil may be estimated from its CBR value with the help of the following equations. What the fuck is a CBR? Actual strain based on test on different dependable formulas have been suggested. Sure, if the facilities for repeated triaxial tests are not available, the MR values of subgrade soil may be estimated from its CBR value with the help of the following equations. What the fuck is a CBR? Reader may know that equation 10.5 and 10.6 are not dimensionally balanced. Hence, they're not. Hence, MR must have a specific unit. The MR value obtained from these empirical formula is in MPa unit, megapascal. Equations 10.5 and 10.6 are also recommended by the Shell Pavement Design Manual. Oh, the company Shell. Equation 10.6 can be used for CBR's values. We up to 100% evaluation for MR. Indian Pavement Design Guidelines. Sure. Guidelines recommend both equation for computation of MR value of soil. Pavement design guidelines published by the Asphalt Institute. What the fuck? There's an institute for asphalt, okay. And AASHTO, ASHTO also use the same form of equation as that of 10.5, except that there are slight variations in the coefficients. Poisson's ratio mu is defined as the ratio of literal strain to the actual strain, caused by a load parallel to the action. Okay, so let me summarize what this whole shit that resonant modulus shit that I just read. Okay, so we have a section of a road. The road experiences some stress, and the stress is pulsating. Why is it pulsating? Because as the car passes over it, but if you look at a particular section of a road, there's not a car doesn't stand there forever. Like cars pass over the section of the road that we're analyzing. So the stress comes and goes. There's peaks and valleys. So that's why during our testing we apply pulsating loads, and during whatever deformations that we do observe, there's a certain part that's permanent strain and recoverable strain. Recoverable strain is basically the Young's modulus type strain. Like you stretch it by a certain amount, it comes back by a certain amount, by that exact same amount. But in this case, there's also permanent strain, which if you example stretch it by a millimeter, it'll only come back to like 0.2 millimeters. It'll only come back by 0.8 millimeters. There'll be a 0.2 millimeter permanent strain. It'll be stretched forever. So resilient modulus calculated by subtracting the axial stress by the axial stress by no why but why by the lateral stress. But why? Okay, okay, I understand. Because this, if you're looking at a section, wait, yeah, you can see my screen, right? If you're looking at a section that's rectangular, the stress is from this side, from sigma 3. The horizontal stresses will try to squish the material from both sides, which will in turn push this part of the road out. But in the case of this vertical strain, or like sigma 1, it's trying to push this side inwards while pushing these sides outwards, so they're counteracting each other. That's why whenever we are considering a deviatoric stress, we subtract sigma 1 from sigma 3, or sigma 3 from sigma 1, whichever is greater. I think usually sigma 1 will be greater. It's just my gut feeling. And it also makes sense because as the car is passing through it, the immediate contact point of the car is on the top of the road, not from the side. So the side forces will be lesser. That's my prediction. Yeah. The immediate contact point of the car is on the top of the road, not from the side. So the side forces will be lesser. That's my prediction. Poisson's ratio of lateral strain to axial strain, sure, caused by the load parallel to the axis along which axial strain is measured. It is found that for the most of the pavement structure, the inverse mu is normally small. This allows the use of typical constant values for analysis rather than the direct testing. The mu values of clayey subgrade vary from 0.4 to 0.5, and a value of 0.5 is adopted for the wet condition. The mu values for saturated clays, clayey subgrade, saturated clays and sand can be taken as 0.5 and 0.35 respectively. So sand has a lower Poisson's ratio, which means that for a given axial strain, there will be less expansion on the other side. It will be more compacted. Okay, that makes sense because sand has like tiny packs easier. I think that's what I think of it as. Poisson ratio of various pavement materials is contained in section 1. Permeability of soil is the ease with which water can flow through it. An idea of the permeability of soil helps the designer to take into account the subsurface drainage considerations of a pavement structure. An idea of permeability of soil helps the designer take into account the subsurface drainage considerations of a pavement structure. Okay, permeability has sure. Drainage design aspects have been separately discussed in section 12.6. The basic law on permeability known as Darcy's law is given by this is already Q is equal to KIA. The coefficient of permeability is determined either in laboratory by the constant head or falling head test. Yeah, sure, we've done those. In the field by pumping tests. The factors affecting permeability of soil particles are particle size, shape, relative distribution, gradation. Relative distribution of the diameters of the particle size. There's a range of diameters of particle soils. So the more of the spectrum it covers, a particle soil covers, the easier it will pack and the less holes there will be. The less holes there will be, the less pores there will be, and that will return in less permeability of the soil, which is good because it prevents drainage or seepage, or both actually. There will be, the less holes there will be, the less pores there will be, For the other tests for samples, give me shear stress, shear tests. Some of the strength tests are direct shear stress test, vein shear test, and triaxial shear stress. In direct shear test, the soil sample is put within a rectangular mold, sandwiched between two porous layers. The mold has some holes for drainage purpose. Normally, pressure is applied to the mold, then upper half of the shear test box is moved gradually. What the fuck is this saying? I zoned out. What is this test? I zoned out. Let's watch some YouTube. Retard. Alright, this was my first test stream, and okay, the main purpose of me streaming is to improve the way I speak, because I've realized that I speak in a way too monotone, boring voice. That's why I want to develop sort of a newscaster type voice, which will actually entertain people when I talk to them in real life. That's what I want. So that's why I'm doing this. That, and also I have a secret hope of becoming a gazillionaire. Obviously, everyone does. Being paid to watch YouTube videos is the best thing. Is the best job, man. Like, you literally have to just sit there, eat your food, not even react to the video. Have you looked at excuse stuff? Not even pay attention to the video and just make money, man. Develop sort of a newscaster type voice, which will actually entertain people when I talk to them in real life. That's what I want. So that's why I'm doing this. That, and also I have a secret hope of becoming a gazillionaire. Obviously, everyone does. Being paid to watch YouTube videos is the best thing. It's the best job, man. Like, you literally have to just sit there, eat your food, not even react to the video. I mean, that is easy stuff. Not even pay attention to the video and just make it. Delhi Coaching Center horror. What the fuck? Chupacabra. Biatch.